Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Planet Film Network. I am one of your hosts, Sean Monk.
And I'm your other host, TJ Cornwell. Hopefully, you can hear me well. And today, as you can tell from the title, big news about I want to say 3 hours ago, maybe maybe more than that, or less than that. Obviously, there was a big announcement. Ryan Reynolds put out a video regarding the next Deadpool movie, and we're gonna live react to that video in maybe a few minutes. First of all, I think maybe we want to. We both been watching some things, so maybe we want to do a quick few reviews. Anything else we need to talk about, and then we'll jump into the news, and then later we'll have our House of Dragon review as well for the episode that just came out yesterday or 2 days ago. So first, why don't you tell me, since I asked you before we started, you've been watching this Jeffrey Dahmer series on Netflix starring Evan Peters.
Yes.
Can you give me a little review so far? I know you said you haven't finished it, but
Yeah, so I am 4 episodes into Dahmer on. Sorry, let me backtrack real quick. Dahmer on Netflix. I am 4 episodes in right now. This is from Ryan Murphy's production company, produced by Ryan Murphy, starring Evan Peters, of course, who has collaborated a lot with him, obviously, with a bunch of different shows, namely American Horror Story. But it also has a bunch of other like supporting people in it that have worked with him before, like Niecy Nash, who I don't know. Do you know who that is?
I do not.
So she is normally like a comedian, like host type personality, like more recently, but she has acted in the past. She was in Scream Queens, which is also a Ryan Murphy show, but she's actually really, really good in this as she plays Jeffrey Dahmer's neighbor during a bulk of kind of the time period that it takes place in. And Evan Peters is fantastic as well. Richard Jenkins plays Jeffrey Dahmer's father. So there's a really good like cast and supporting cast, but for me, so far, it's really, I don't think it's for me. Only in the sense of I think it's a lot of people doing a lot of good work. But to me, I find the show very like Ryan Murphy-y. It's like if Ryan Murphy tried to make like it's exactly what it is. If Ryan Murphy tried to make a more like serious, like kind of true crime drama show, and there's moments that just feel a little over the top, like a little ham-fisted or something. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it doesn't feel very intelligent at times, and I don't even mean that to be like snobby or anything. It's just I was really hoping for like a good amount. The first episode gives you a really gut-wrenching long, and by long I mean like 35 something like that minutes encounter with Jeffrey Dahmer that leads to what it leads to, which I won't give any spoilers or anything, but it's this long extended thing about how he picks a victim, how he draws them in, what he does to them, all this stuff, and it is like 35-40 minutes of the episode. And then the episode kind of ends with Richard Jenkins having this great scene with the police officers being like, kind of then jumping towards when he is caught and everything. And I was like, okay, great. We got this gritty, in-depth look at what he does. That was a lot to get through, but we got through it. Now let's get on with the, flashbacks to childhood, why he did this, and then the investigation, or then the trial or whatever. But a lot of the show, it just really meanders in, like, the creepiness of him.
I feel like, a lot of creepy, yeah.
Yeah, like, and I feel like it's in my opinion, I can't speak for anybody else, but in my opinion, the type of show that I like is not one that meanders in the, like, ooh, he liked, he would pick apart, brains of, like, a rabbit he would find on the road or something. Like, they go into that so much and do so much of, like, see, this moment in middle school or elementary school is what led him to do this in his you know what I mean? I just am much more interested in the facts of what happened. Something a lot more like the gosh, I forget the name of it, but the Ted Bundy movie with Zac Efron and Lily Collins.
Yeah.
Something a lot more in line with that, where it's a lot more about, some of the stuff that he happened to him in prison or about the investigation or stuff like this. Whereas this just really likes to just live in kind of the drama and stuff like that of what happened. And I totally get that this show is made by Ryan Murphy. People are going to watch it that are Ryan Murphy fans that like, all that stuff, American Horror Story, Scream Queens, stuff like that. So I think the show just is, I think just the way they're going about the show just isn't my taste. But that being said, I still think that if you like Ryan Murphy and if you like kind of the drama and like kind of like intrigue of it, I think you're really going to enjoy it. I'm going to finish it for sure. I just don't think I really like it that much.
Yeah. I didn't realize he directed The Prom. Yikes.
Oh, yeah.
That was a rough one.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I don't think I'm going to watch it. And Danielle's not really interested in it either, and I'd probably really only watch it if she wanted to. Have you seen the Ross Lynch one from like 3 years ago, whatever that was?
I did not, though. No, but that is exactly like what I was thinking about.
Yeah,
like I think about that all the time because
if I recall correctly, I did see it, but it was a while ago. I think that one leans more into him as a kid, if I recall correctly. So this one's obviously more, like you said, like more adult.
Definitely, yeah. But yeah, that's our Dahmer talk for now. I'll update you guys, if anything changes in the future. But for right now, I'm gonna finish out the series. Just not really for me, not over the moon about it, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anything else you watch you want to talk about?
I think we can, if you want to go into your quick Don't Worry Darling review, then maybe we can discuss the thing that we watched together.
Yeah.
Which I think was pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, so Danielle and I went to go see Don't Worry Darling I guess it was my birthday gift. I mean, we both wanted to see it. So we saw it Saturday. Decent theater. Nothing, not full. Maybe halfway, I would say. I know it was beat out by Avatar for the weekend, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I think internationally it did, and then I think domestically it was flipped. But I think domestically it only outbeat Avatar by I think a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I think overall for the movie, I would say it was good. It was a good movie. It looked great. I didn't have a problem with any of the performances. I thought Florence Pugh was amazing as always. I know some people have a problem with Harry Styles' performance. I thought he was good. Personally, I couldn't see Shia LaBeouf doing that role. Just the way Harry Styles' character is. And there's two parts to his character. Maybe one part I could see, but not the other one. So maybe if you wanted to do if you just want to have two people in the same role, but like different versions, I guess you could do that. But personally, I couldn't see Shia LaBeouf in Harry Styles' role. I think the biggest thing for me where the movie kind of falls apart is the ending, the third act. I think the first two acts are great. And you kind of have an idea of what's going on, but you're not really sure. But the whole kind of execution at the end, didn't really work for me. It also felt like a movie I had seen before. It felt like a concept that I don't know where, but it just felt like it had been done before and done better. The whole kind of ideas of women having their faculties taken away and not being able to make their own decisions and stuff, I thought was really interesting. But I don't know. It was good, but it just didn't. At the end, I was kind of I wanted a little bit more. I wanted it to be also expanded on more. But overall, I thought it was a good movie. I would recommend you go see it. I don't think it's going to be my top 10 at the end of the year or anything. But I did enjoy myself, I would say. Probably won't watch it again, but I did enjoy myself.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to go and see it. I know it, like you said. I mean, it's definitely gotten a lot of mixed, I think, critical and kind of fan consensus. I feel especially on kind of the Harry Styles of it all. But I have heard a lot of similar criticisms about the third act and kind of what the movie wants to be telling. Kind of is a lot of like what people seem to have the issue with. Which of course I'll wait to judge it until I see it, but sounds like a pretty fundamental issue for a movie to have if it doesn't know what message it wants to convey. But only time will tell, and I definitely will see it. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad that you at least enjoyed it for what it was. But I feel like we've had a lot of disappointments this year. A lot of disappointments this year of things that we thought were going to be great, or one of like things that we were like, oh yeah, that'll probably be on our top 10 of the year, and a lot of them have just really not made it through. Like even things like Multiverse of Madness or something. But
right.
I just feel like it's been a very interesting year for kind of our expectations of what we were gonna really really like, and then kind of how things turned out. But yeah. But speaking of how things turned out, you and I went to the theater this week, and we watched the re-release, the 3D re-release of 2009's Avatar. What'd you think?
I'll tell you what, I haven't seen this movie since it came out in Blockbuster, so whatever year that was. It must have been Blockbuster. Yeah. And brought it home, watched it with my dad, I think it was, and that's the last time I've seen it. And I think I probably said before, when the second one was announced or whatever, when it kind of started getting pushed a little bit more, I was like, does anybody really care about Avatar anymore? Like, do they really need Avatar 2, 3, 4, and 5? And after rewatching this, I'll tell you what, I care.
Exact same.
I don't know what it is. James Cameron just does something really amazing with it. It holds up brilliantly well. Like, it looks fantastic, especially in 3D. Again, I wasn't like, it looked good in 3D. I wasn't like blown away, but then again, it's not 2000. When did this come out? 09 or something like that.
Yeah, 2009.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't 3D is not the craze now that it was back then. So I'm sure if I saw it in 3D in 09, I'd be like, oh my god, this, but all the characters, what it's trying to say, and everything just works for me in this movie. I'm very excited to see the next one. I'm excited to see how they bring these characters back as well, because most of the people, like a good portion, I feel like, of the characters in this next movie are not alive at the end of the first one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was absolutely blown away. I loved it.
Yeah, I think definitely both of us had kind of that similar thing. I'll tell you what, though, we don't have to get in too much of it, but the guy that was sitting next to me and TJ, he was on a spiritual journey.
Yeah.
It was not a full auditorium. I almost said it wasn't a packed auditorium. It wasn't even a remotely packed auditorium. No, there was probably like 20 of us in there.
Yeah, 20, 25.
Yeah, and it was probably like an auditorium that fit like 200 people, and this guy sat, I mean, I'm sure it wasn't intentional, but like this guy was sitting like literally one seat over from me, like with a gap, like 1 seat gap in between us. But he was going on a journey, and by the end of the movie, he was like talking to us, and he was like, I would whisper something to TJ, and he would be like, "Yeah, you saw that? Did you see that too?" And I would be like, "Okay." And then apparently, by the way, we missed a post-credit scene that was tacked on. Yeah. I watched it today at work.
Yeah.
It's just I think it's just an extended scene from the trailer of, I believe it's their kid with like a whale or a type of animal, sea animal on Pandora. Looks pretty good. It was only like 50 seconds. So like it was not like a 10-minute, extended look at Avatar. It was like very short, but we bounced as soon as the credits rolled, just because that is a long movie. But I will say, getting back to the movie itself, I would say not only do people go, do I even care about this? I think the people that do care, a lot of people go, yeah, but can you even name me a character? Or what did anything have to do with the humans in that movie? Coming out of this, I am invested in the humans. I now look at the Avatar 2 trailer and I'm like, wait, there's that shot of humans building stuff, or, you know, humans walking around, but how much are we going to get with the humans on the planet and everything versus the Na'vi? I understand, obviously, Sam Worthington, Jake Sully is kind of both, but he is fully, you know, a Na'vi now. But, you know, he kind of has one foot in both worlds there. I really, really loved the first of all, the format, so the actual re-release. I thought it looked fantastic. Probably one of the best looking movies I've gone to see all year, to be honest. I was just I think the first thing you said when we got out of the building was, you were like, for a movie that's that old, like, the effects look incredible. And obviously I know that they did say that it's a 4K restoration and stuff, and they did do minor visual effects, you know, tweaks and stuff, but I mean, for the bulk of it, this movie, it looks like something that would be made today. And the fact that it was made, you know, 13 years ago is kind of crazy. But really, really liked it, especially in theaters. Definitely go see it. It's up for at least another week in a lot of places. I'm actually going to see it again tomorrow night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in IMAX. You can come to that if you want. It's 2 people we know, and we're going to the IMAX at 7. But I'm super excited to see it again, honestly. And then I might even, I don't know, I might live dangerously. I might, when they add it back onto Disney Plus, I might watch it again. I don't know. Just super, super enjoyable. Really like the characters. Sigourney Weaver, fantastic. Everybody great. Little interesting thing. I didn't realize until watching the movie again that Michelle Rodriguez's call sign is Rogue One. Very
really?
Interesting. Yeah. Obviously, it came out 7 years before that, but still, very interesting there. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on here. Let's do some of these. Let's take a look at some of these videos, some of these trailers that have dropped lately. Now, I don't know if you want to just dive right into the Deadpool stuff now, or if you want to. We also have the Halloween trailer that just dropped.
Let's do the 2 trailers first, and then we'll do the Deadpool, because Deadpool, I think there's more conversation to be had there.
All right, sounds good. So, first trailer up here, I believe TJ has seen, but I haven't seen it just because I intended to do a trailer reaction after work yesterday, but I just got super busy with stuff, so I wasn't able to. But this is the brand new teaser trailer for The Last of Us, which is obviously the new HBO series, starring Bella Ramsey, Pedro Pascal, tons of people.
Nick Offerman.
A lot of cast. Yeah, Nick Offerman, Storm Reed, a lot of different people. So, yeah, I have not seen this yet, but we are going to be reacting to the Last of Us trailer. So let's go ahead and jump right into it right now. Can you hear it?
Yeah. I asked the Fireflies. I believe that's what they're called. I forget.
And I have not played through all these, so story stuff might be lost on me, but... Oh, wow. Oh, shit.
Big in this song. Don't know it?
Yeah, it's ironically, it is giving me, like, Logan vibes.
Oh, my God.
What was that?
Gives me the chills.
What is that?
The clickers.
The clickers?
Yeah.
Oh, they're saying they can't hear the trailer.
Oh, that's not good.
This is your chance.
Wow.
That shot. You keep her alive. And you set everything right.
Oh shit. Holy crap. Whoa!
Save who you can save.
That makeup looks amazing. Or
On-
whatever is the prosthetics,
On
whatever.
on Pedro?
No, on the zombie.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow. Anything else? Anything after that? Nope.
No, that's it.
Holy.
Yeah. So what'd you think? You
I mean, I
excited?
think it looks fantastic. I mean, like I said, I have played, I think the first probably like 2 or 3 hours of the game, I think. I mean, obviously, I know it's well known for not only being a great game, but how great the story is in both Last of Us 1 and 2. So this to me, I think has the best. Okay, we just jumped to 15 viewers. So shout out. We are currently, Michelle, I will get to that chat in just 1 second. We are currently talking about the Last of Us trailer. So let us know. Did you guys watch the Last of Us trailer? What are your thoughts on it and everything? But my thoughts, really liked it. I think this has the biggest leg up in the video game to show or movie adaptation, only because I think when you're adapting video games, because they're so long format, which I think people forget about sometimes, is that video games are long format entertainment. You know, it's 10, 15, 20 hours, you know, sometimes even more. I think it's got a leg up being a TV show, and also because the game is so narrative.
Right.
I've heard people compare it to, like, Red Dead Redemption would make a great, like, HBO series, because obviously that is super character and story based as well. So yeah, to me, do I think it looks awesome? Yes, I do. But I'm really intrigued with the story, because I really don't know. I know who Joel and Ellie are, but I don't know why they link up. I don't know why they have such a deep relationship. I don't know, like, any of that stuff. So I'm very excited to see this series. And to answer Michelle in chat, she said, was that Lyanna Mormont? Yes, that was Lyanna Mormont. Bella Ramsey in there, which I was going to say it during the trailer, but I just love that casting. Because obviously, you know, you have obvious people like, you know, people were throwing out. If you were making this 15 years ago, you know, Elliot Page, you know, back then, I think, isn't the character even based on them as well. But, you know, younger names or more popular mainstream names, I think, were definitely thrown out for this character. And so the fact that they went with Bella Ramsey, I just think is awesome. Because she is so good in Game of Thrones, and she was so young in that. She's still super young, but the fact that she was so good in Game of Thrones and so, you know, she just has like a gravitas to her performance that I hope she carries into this. But yeah, I really like the trailer. But what are some of your thoughts on it before we wrap up the trailer talk there?
I'm with you 100%. I don't remember as much as this of the story as I would like for the first one, just because it's been such a long time since I played it.
Yeah.
But I thought, you know, the trailer looks fantastic. I think it comes out, I want to say like spring next year, early next year, somewhere in there. And I'm excited. Like that. Those again, the clickers are terrifying. They're probably terrified me the most out of all the zombies in the game. I know there's a few different types, but just from that shot, I thought the prosthetics on that looked absolutely fantastic. So I'm excited to see more.
Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, if you are watching this on just the trailer reaction, make sure to go ahead and follow us at the official PFN on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Go ahead and subscribe. Thank you for joining us. We'll catch you in the next trailer reaction. But for those watching on stream right now, thank you guys so much for joining us. Again, we just watched the Last of Us trailer. Let us know if you guys want to share your thoughts on the trailer. And right now we're going to take a look at the brand new final trailer for Halloween Ends. But before we jump into that, where are you at with Halloween Ends? Because obviously we both, you know, Evil Dies Tonight. Halloween Kills was, I think, a nearly unanimous, not fully, but nearly unanimous misstep, I think, from a very well-loved movie in the 2018 one. So where are you at with this before we even take a look at the trailer?
I am hopeful, but not I'm not expecting anything crazy.
Yeah.
I doubt this will, tie the whole thing up together. So, I'm excited it's on Peacock, I guess. Because I won't watch it in the theater. I'll watch it at home, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not expecting much.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough because John Carpenter came out and said that thing where he was like, well, if people want more, Michael Myers, I'm sure we could give it to him and stuff like that. And I'm like, I want this franchise, the original franchise of it, to end. Just end it. Just kill Michael Myers. Like, just end it. And then in 5-10 years, just redo the whole thing or something. If you want to do it, just redo the whole thing. But yeah, I too am not convinced that this is going to successfully nail the landing. The only thing that does give me hope is a lot of people have said this same thing, that when they planned out these movies, they planned out 2 movies, and then basically they decided to make it a trilogy, yeah, so that the middle story really was kind of just a middle story, which, if that's the case, I didn't pay money to go see the middle movie in theaters. I there was some great moments, like when they pushed that old man out of the hospital window. I don't know what they were thinking, but they really wanted evil to die that night. Here we are.
Lee Curtis wasn't even in the movie. She was in it for 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. No, honestly, yeah, that's why it strikes me as all right, we're gonna squeeze out another one of these movies. We could get Judy Greer and the daughter, but Jamie will only do it if she only has to shoot for a week. That's kind of how it felt. Yeah, that being aside, putting Halloween Kills aside for a second, I am going to hope that since this first one, which was good, great even, and this one have always been the plan, maybe it is planned out and it will stick the landing. And I like that there's the 5-year time jump, so we're finally caught back up with 2022 where we actually would be now, after the first 2 kind of took place on the exact same night. So let's just jump right into this thing. Let's get it over with here. Let me just see. 1 second, guys. Trying to find. Is that orange? Sure. There we go. All right. Now we got a little spooky season for the YouTube video here. If you are joining us for this trailer reaction in the clip out, we are reacting to the final trailer for Halloween Ends. I am one of your hosts, Sean Monk.
I'm your other host, TJ Cornwell.
Let's just jump right into this trailer here. YouTube, please do not take the video down. Thank you.
Since Michael Myers vanished without a trace.
Hello?
Hello?
So I did see this on TikTok. And it seemed to find him. I jumped. I don't know about you.
Oh
jumped.
my lord! Where has he been for 5 years?
Hiding in a sewer, apparently.
I
guess so.
that I saw him watching me.
He's finally got a new haircut.
Pretend like you moved on, but you're actually just obsessed
Back
with
to that
death.
bar.
What are you gonna do when Michael comes back for you? Because he is coming.
But this time, something
Just walking
feels
past
different.
the DJ.
Something feels
He's
different.
more dangerous.
Is that discount Sarah Michelle Gellar?
I thought that was her.
That's what I. Yeah, I
It's
thought
not her.
that
It's
too.
obviously not her.
Yeah, no. Oh my god. Oh!
Oh. Well, they just spoiled a kill. What the hell?
I know.
He killed my daughter. But tonight,
Oh, that was real.
Not
I will
Judy.
kill him.
She's actually dead.
Like, she seems... Oh!
Maybe the only way he can die is if I die too.
Oh, not the sheriff.
It all
Forgot about
ends
him.
now.
Oh, yeah.
The cowboy hat. Oh, not the DJ! Get him.
This is gonna be like It, where it's hiding in the sewer.
Kill me, so do it.
Wow. Oh, wow. I got chills.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, that at the beginning scared me, but I'm also easy to scare. So
Yeah. That was creepy as hell, though. Wow. All right. I will say the trailer definitely worked for me. I mean, it looks like a Halloween movie for sure.
Yep.
Like you said, I think you said, oh yeah, that's right, she did actually die. Just the last scene of Halloween Kills, just with all of a sudden him popping up and killing Judy Greer.
Somehow
I remember
he walked around, got in the house.
Yeah, I remember you and I were like, wait, was that real, or was that like a dream sequence, or are they gonna reveal that, like, you know, maybe she went to the hospital or something? But nope, she's dead apparently. I got the nice framed picture of Judy Greer. Although, how cool would it be? Oh, what if they change it? What if in this movie it reveals that it's Judy Greer doing the killing? What if they pull like a Scream and she put on the mask? That'd be pretty insane. But R.I.P. to that girl's
parents. Word on the street I hear is that dude in the beginning is like his like sidekick or something in this movie. I don't know. He's like, they're like friends or something.
Interesting.
What
Maybe
I heard.
that's who's been keeping him alive. Maybe he's like been bringing him food. He's been bringing him scraps and water bottles and stuff.
He needs to eat?
I don't know, man.
I doubt it.
He was in
Once,
a penitentiary. Penitentiary?
Penitentiary.
Yeah. For what, 45 years?
Something like that, yeah.
That's actually crazy. Or no, 40 years. But yeah, that's crazy how long these movies have been going out. Jamie Lee Curtis looks fantastic for, you know, like she is like, you know, almost in her 70s, or I think 70 or something like that. But
yeah.
Cannot wait for this. Honestly, like I said, the trailer did win it for me. I did like the trailer a lot. So, you know, if I like it enough on Peacock, I might go see it in the theater. I don't have to pay for movie tickets, so I might just go see it in the theater regardless. It all just comes down to kind of if I want to physically go out to the theater. But yeah, I think I really liked this. But is there any last bit of the trailer you want to talk about before we close out for the video at least? I'll
say I liked the trailer. Still not sold. I'll wait to see what the movie actually has to offer. As long as it doesn't have to be 2018 quality. As long as it's better than the most recent one from last year, I'll be satisfied, I think.
Wow. Michelle in the chat just wrote, I am an idiot. Jamie Lee Curtis is 63. I think it's just because the movie was so long ago, but I forget that she was like 17 in the movie. Or, you know, I think she was 19 when it was released. But, you know, she was so young in the first one. I'm just like, oh, yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis has been around literally my entire life. So I just imagine she's older than she is. But that's great. That means Jamie Lee Curtis is still going to be working for so many more years. So keep bringing it on. I'll take another Jamie Lee Curtis Halloween movie in 15 years if they want to. I don't mind. But yeah, if you are just watching this on the video, thank you guys so much for joining us for this trailer reaction. And go ahead and hit subscribe, and we will catch you in the next video. Boom. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I liked that trailer. I did. But let's just dive right into this next one.
Time for the real news.
Yeah, time for the real news. What the title of the video is. Now, TJ has seen this little short video. I have not, obviously, based on the title of the live stream here. I already know what the surprise is, but I would love to see it delivered in Ryan Reynolds fashion, the only way that he knows how, with his beautiful, brilliant Deadpool marketing. So let's just go ahead and dive right into this thing. And if you don't know what we're talking about somehow, Ryan Reynolds posted a video with an update of the title, which is Deadpool 3, the release date, which is September of 2024, and that Hugh Jackman will be co-starring in the movie, returning as Wolverine. So, guys, let's go ahead and jump right into this Deadpool 3 announcement video in 3, 2,
Hey
1.
everyone, we're extremely sad to have missed D23, but we've been working very hard on the next Deadpool film for
This guy
a good
ages,
long
but
while
like
now.
barely.
I've had to really search my soul on this one.
His first appearance in the MCU obviously needs to feel special. We need to stay true to the character, find new depth, new
Oh, I
motivation.
love when he wears the suit.
Every
man.
Deadpool needs to
It's been
stand
too
out
long.
and
Wrexham.
stand apart.
Yes.
It's been an incredible
Aviation
challenge
gin!
that has forced me to reach down deep inside.
Toilets.
I,
Is that a She-Hulk comic?
yeah, just completely empty up here
Damn.
and terrifying. But we did have one idea. Hey Hugh, you want to play Wolverine one more
Oh
time?
my.
Yeah, sure, Ryan.
Oh my God. You gotta be kidding me. Oh God. That's a Hune coming to you. What the hell? Oh.
Ooh. That's dope.
Wow. Oh, and then that's where the date is. Beautiful. Look at that. Let's just. Oh. That is what that is, ladies and gentlemen. Is Wolverine's claws with a Marvel Studios logo. That is what that is, everybody. We got 18 people here joining us. What do you guys think of the video? Absolutely incredible. Like I said, just the way that Ryan Reynolds can do things. This guy, this guy just market everything. I saw somebody was just like, let Disney make the trailers, because they're very good at making Marvel trailers for sure. Let Marvel make the trailers. Let Ryan Reynolds do everything else. If there's going to be a Super Bowl spot, if there's going to be whatever it might be, let him do the marketing. I mean, all the ones, I'm just thinking back to the first Deadpool movie with, all of his informative videos and all this stuff that, checking for testicular cancer. I remember he released that video as Deadpool. So funny. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, we'll talk a little bit more. We'll talk, not a little bit, we'll talk a lot.
Real quick, I don't know if you saw this. Ryan Reynolds tweeted this out, and then did you see John Krasinski's quote tweet?
No.
He quote tweeted and said, "Wait, is this our movie?"
Whoa!
So is that just a joke, or is he directing it? I think there's
it's
some
probably
people that
just
are
a joke.
thinking that, but yeah.
Yeah. But wow, holy crap! That is so cool. But I mean, we'll talk more about specifically.
John Krasinski has a movie with Ryan Reynolds called If. That John Krasinski is
yeah,
directing.
that's the Imaginary Friends one.
Yeah.
That's right. So that makes more sense. But we'll talk a little bit more about about Wolverine and Hugh Jackman coming back and everything like that in a minute. But in terms of just that look, super excited. I think a lot of people have said for many years, just in general, how cool would it be if Wolverine
surprised.
was in Deadpool 3? Absolutely, me too. I mean, a lot of people have said, Wolverine's definitely going to come to the MCU sooner rather than later. And also, I think especially the only thing that made it any more realistic was just outside of Greatest Showman, Hugh Jackman, and I don't think he's been trying to, but Hugh Jackman has not really had the huge illustrious Hollywood career that I think he could have potentially had. I think that maybe that's just an agent thing or whatever, but I think he's kind of in
big, I mean, he does have a big passion for theater, does he not? So I think
and he's doing Music Man on Broadway. But they did announce that that's ending next year. So now I'm wondering if that's why. Very, very interesting. but yeah, I think in terms of movies, I think Hugh Jackman's stuck in a little bit of the Michael Fassbender loop of, you know, this guy's so good. What is or kind of the Matt Smith in movies. You know, like what is this guy doing? This guy is a superstar, and you know he's in.
Did you say same thing for Robert Downey Jr.?
I would,
I mean,
yeah. Up
he
until
hasn't really done
2022.
much since he did Doctor Dolittle, and that was about it.
Or I should say 2023 actually. Like I think Oppenheimer is going to be his big like.
Oh, right.
I'm back and I'm not just Iron Man. But yes, I think until Oppenheimer, he has had a rough. You know, you take Tony Stark and Sherlock Holmes out of the mix. I personally like The Judge, but I know a lot of people didn't, and financially and critically, it was really not a big success. So, yeah, I think he definitely falls in that camp too. But this was awesome. Very excited to see Deadpool 3. I like that 2024. That's kind of what a lot of people figured, anyways. But yeah, so that'll do it for the reaction to the video. Thank you for joining us for that. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe below. All right, but let's talk about this. So we got, also shout out, we got 23 people watching us right now. So let us know, guys, what do you think? What are your thoughts? Hugh Jackman is coming to the MCU as Wolverine. Will it be a variant? Will it be his X-Men counterpart? Will it be a Logan prequel? What do you guys think is going on with the actual announcement? How is Hugh Jackman going to be in this thing? Let us know that. Everybody, I want to see you in chat right now. Let us know all your thoughts on that. But TJ, what do you think? Is this going to be a variant? Is this the Logan that we have known for the past 20-something years? What do you think?
I think it might be a variant. Personally, first of all, I'm pretty surprised because I feel like he's always been pretty on the hill of, you know, I'm done with that character.
Adamant, yeah.
I mean, he saw, you know, Patrick Stewart come back for, you know, 5 minutes, maybe not even. So, but I do have a feeling he's going to have a bigger part in this movie than what Patrick Stewart had in Doctor Strange.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
But I think it might be. I think it. I don't know, because it doesn't necessarily have to be a variant, right? You could always like just pull him from, you know, whatever timeline or whatever thing.
Because here's the thing: is that not only is the MCU in its multiverse saga, but what was the end of Deadpool 2? Deadpool now has access to the multiverse.
Right.
He's going around to Green Lantern, to X-Men Origins. Like, obviously, it's the time travel and all that. Well, for the cable aspects of Deadpool 2, very much not a joke. But then when Deadpool got the time travel, used for humor and the great post-credit sequence and all that stuff. But, jokes aside, Deadpool does have access to a version of the multiverse or something. You know what I mean? So, I think you could just have it be a movie where maybe Deadpool was going around and getting different Wolverine variants or something. Or I saw somebody as a joke like months ago as a joke said, I think it was in one of Christian Harloff's videos, in the chat was like, or how great would it be if Deadpool 3 was just Deadpool trying to find Wolverine, but he just kept finding Hugh Jackman. Like, not Wolverine, but Hugh Jackman, the actor. And I was like, that is so freaking funny because you could totally do that. Now, I do like that they kind of got out ahead of that and said, Hugh, do you want to play Wolverine again? So it's not just like, oh, Hugh Jackman's going to have a cameo. It's no, he is playing Wolverine. And then the logo kind of seals it, that it is going to be that. I think it would have been even funnier if they had just like fully hammed it up and just called it like Deadpool versus Wolverine or something. That would have just been so funny, just to poke a little fun at BVS. But yeah, I mean, I am just super pumped for this. And in terms of like the variant question and stuff like that, I think it would be fun to just do all of it. Poke fun at, you know, well, what's really the multiverse? Doctor Strange stuff or TVA stuff? You know, I think that would be so funny. Bring in Owen Wilson, have Owen Wilson ride the jet ski in Deadpool. You know, make fun of the
Yeah.
Miss
You know,
Minutes.
obviously he's coming back for this, but does this in any way mean he's going to be in any future MCU movie? I doubt it. I highly doubt it. I'd have to imagine this is his true swan song. So, you know, maybe you know, again, like John Krasinski, you know, he showed up in Doctor Strange for, again, 5 minutes, and that kind of fulfilled, in Marvel's mind, probably. It was like, okay, here you go, you got your Mr. Fantastic, blah, blah, okay. Now we're going to move on to the real Mr. Fantastic, which we're dealing with in our universe. So I think it'll probably be kind of like that, and then they'll do something with him at the end of the movie, I'd have to imagine.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Now, a question I want to throw to you, and I want to throw to everybody watching, which, holy crap, we now have 29 people watching us. So thank you so much for joining us. Obviously, huge news. Actually, I'll ask you this quick question before I ask the question I was going to ask. We have had 2 gifts of a Tuesday on the history of this show, which is Michael Keaton officially coming back as Batman was announced right before we went live, and now this was announced right before we went live. What do you think is the bigger deal out of the 2? Keeping in mind that half of Michael Keaton's appearances have now been cut.
I'd say probably the Hugh Jackman is. I'd probably say the Hugh Jackman is bigger. Because he just always seemed like he was just never coming back. You know what I mean? Never didn't really, you know, he was always like, I'm done with that role. I've played it for how many movies? 8, you know.
8 movies, 19 years.
Yeah, at this point, you know, I'm done. So I feel like this, and I thought it was well announced. I can't think of any better way for them to announce that. And the fact that it was hidden so well, I am shocked that I never seen it leaked or anything like that.
100%, 100%. And I think maybe too, a lot of people don't realize, like, the video begins with the sorry we missed D23, right? And you know, some people were tweeting like, how do you have this and not announce it at D23? I think the answer is D23 was 2.5 weeks ago. If Hugh Jackman is not signed on the dotted line, there is no announcement. You know, it could be something that Hugh Jackman and Marvel Studios agreed on a contract this morning. You know what I mean? Like, it literally could be that easy. Now, I think it's not, because I did see Sean Levy. I think he tweeted, he said, like, Stranger Things has taught him spoiler stuff, and I think he said that he's been holding on to this for at least a week. So, but even that, if he's saying that he's been holding on to this secret for weeks, that very well could mean it just wasn't final when D23 was around. You know, you can't announce something if you don't have it to announce. But that being said, this logo existed. This date existed. The script had to have existed. So you're absolutely right. To have none of this come out, you know, in any official capacity, I think is pretty crazy. And maybe that's why they kept it out at D23, because they knew that you know, the scoopsters were out there trying to get everything for D23 beforehand. So maybe it was just a calculated thing on that role. I know right now already, in all of its different uploads, this video already has millions and millions of views. So, I mean, like you said, they are no fools. This was the perfect way to announce this. You know, Ryan Reynolds, again, we've talked about it to death already, is so good at these marketing videos and drumming up interest and support for the upcoming Deadpool movies and stuff. And you could really tell that Ryan Reynolds does really care about, you know, this character and about this franchise. And even though it's not him, he clearly does care a big amount for Wolverine. And, of course, him and Hugh Jackman are, you know, really, really great friends. So I just think it's just going to be a win-win for literally everybody involved. But next question I wanted to ask you, and I'll ask everybody watching right now. Actually, let's go to chat real quick. We got JD is saying, what if they put the old X-Men cast in? Yeah, I think just like Deadpool 2, right? When they had that cameo of all the younger people, and you have, wasn't it Ty Sheridan or Sophie Turner, I think, goes up and they just close the door behind him, which was, hilarious, and him going around the X-Mansion. All the jokes about the wider X-Men are always so funny in the Deadpool movies, so I do hope that in some fashion the X-Men are present in it.
Yeah.
Unless this is a fish out of water story, which I think the writers have described it as, that it really is truly that version of Deadpool is now just going to live in the MCU. So that MCU, I'm also totally fine with, because it'll give him other people to interact with. And as cool as Hugh Jackman is, I'm really excited to see when we actually sit down to watch the movie, what people from the MCU they pull from and kind of do that. So if you just had a name, what are some existing MCU people you'd love to like kind of see interact with Deadpool or be in this movie?
Existing MCU.
I think that She-Hulk would actually be really funny in this movie.
Trying to think of more. I think immediately I would go to like a Thor or like a Guardians.
Yeah. Like Rocket.
Obviously we don't know what's going to happen with the Guardians at the end of this movie, but
yeah. I don't know if my guy Rocket's going to be around for this movie. I forgot about that.
Assuming that, Chris Hemsworth would be around with Thor, I could see that. Or a who's Taika's character in Thor? I always forget his name. Yeah, Korg. Yeah,
and we already got that great Korg Deadpool video. Remember, a couple months ago, which obviously it was just the voiceovers, but still, I think that was a really funny video there. So I think that could definitely work. But yeah, I don't know why. I don't know if it's just recency bias or what, but the first one that just jumps out to me is I would just between the breaking of the fourth wall and just their comedy, I would just love to see She-Hulk, interact with Deadpool. I just think that she kind of is in that same kind of comedy, funny vein. As much as, the show for me, the actual story is just kind of meandering right now. She's definitely not the problem. I think that her character is fantastic and a great entry to the MCU. I'd also love to see Deadpool interact with Carol Danvers, just to see what the hell would happen. Just to see if Carol would just knock him into, the next town or so, just absolutely punch him, so hard that he just flies. I think that him and Brie Larson would be really, really funny to see together. Or on the serious side of things, I think that Nick Fury trying to interact or recruit Deadpool for something would be hilarious as well. But yeah, I think there's a lot of different opportunity. But the main question I keep wanting to ask is, for you and for anyone watching, do you think that this cheapens Logan for you? Because I have already seen that.
I've still never seen Logan. I've still never seen it.
What?
Yeah, I've still never seen it. It's I know. I'm gonna watch it before obviously this movie comes out. Me and Danielle are gonna go through like all the X-Men movies. I've seen.
How have I not known that?
I've just never seen it, unfortunately.
Wow.
I know like what happens, I guess, at the end. But everybody always says the movie's really good. So.
Well, to you then, without even seeing it, do you think just
doesn't cheapen it for me?
Okay, there we go. All right, I was gonna say even just the idea of Logan, of this great dramatic, R-rated swan song send off, all this stuff. Also, for anyone who's still out there wondering or okay, we got 46 people watching us right now, so shout out. Thank you so much. Guys, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We are trying to get to 500 subscribers as quickly as possible, so please help us get there. But anyways, and also, more importantly, let us know what are your thoughts on Hugh Jackman. I almost called him Wolverine because he is. Wolverine, Hugh Jackman coming to the MCU in Deadpool 3. I think for anyone out there who is still somehow denying that they think this is going to be R-rated or that Disney won't allow it, which Kevin Feige and Disney have said multiple times that this is going to be R-rated. I don't think Hugh Jackman would have come back for a PG-13 Wolverine.
Yeah.
I don't think he would have. You saw now, granted, I think that his role in X-Men Apocalypse, the little 5-minute kind of cameo he had there in the Weapon X program, that was pretty bloody and pretty violent and pretty visceral, but it was still PG-13. And then he did Logan right after that, and that's the last we've seen of him. So I don't think that he would be interested in a regression of what they're able to do with the character. You know what I mean? I don't think that he would be like, yeah, I'll come in for a PG-13 movie. I think this is definitely going to be R. We're going to see that Deadpool action, the Deadpool comedy, the Deadpool, vulgarity, if you will. But yeah, I mean, I think I'm super excited. And again, I can't let it be lost on me too that Sean Levy is directing this, which, he's been on a string of great successes, in my opinion. Really, really loved Adam Project. Really, really loved Free Guy. 2 of the best episodes of Stranger Things Season 4. I think that Sean Levy is just right now kind of on a hot streak, so I'm super excited to see his Deadpool 3. Yeah, what are some of the things that you think about this that we haven't covered yet? And then we do have a couple more questions from the chat. So guys, send in your questions in the chat about Hugh Jackman coming back. We'll talk about them all.
Was Logan the only Origins, and what was the other one? Just Wolverine. I forget.
For what?
For the 2 Wolverine movies before Logan.
Oh yeah, just the Wolverine and then
those were PG-13, right? Those were R.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think also those 2 characters kind of go well together as far as the rating goes. Yeah. They're both kind of bloody, gory. I can't speak to the Logan, but I know Deadpool obviously way more, blood, gore. Is Logan about the same amount, you think, or less?
Oh, as Deadpool, I would say there's probably more blood in Logan.
Maybe. Oh, okay, wow.
Yeah. Definitely more visceral, more real injuries.
And obviously Deadpool is the more humor side. So, but yeah, I agree with you. I don't think you can go
similar levels of swearing too.
Yeah, but like you said, I don't think you can go back to PG-13 after you made both these Deadpool movies are as well as Logan. But man, I'm excited. I gotta watch it. I will watch it. Maybe in the next week I'll watch it. And
I just can't even believe that.
Week.
That's crazy.
It's
on Disney Plus.
I don't know. I know.
It baffles me too. It just, and I'm one of those people too that was worried at first of, are they going to let Deadpool be PG-13 or be R-rated? But I mean, if the past few months have shown us anything, they're ready for it all. Disney Plus. I mean, if you got International Women's Day from Deadpool 1 on Disney Plus, Disney is ready to make an R-rated movie again. And it's not like they haven't. Okay, we got 17 more people watching us right now, so thank you so much. Go ahead and hit subscribe. Let us know, what are your thoughts on Hugh Jackman coming back as Wolverine in the MCU? Super, super excited. I still can't even kind of believe that it's real. But
let's go to chat when you have a second.
Yeah. I'm getting lost in a tailspin of my own thoughts. That's gonna be the name of my autobiography. Jacob Baranowski looks like. Jacob Baranowski says, breaking the internet 2024 Deadpool 3 with Wolverine side by side. So excited about this. Comics material, TV, cartoon, Marvel, X-Men. Hope there is time travel and a future war and that Cable shows up.
Yeah.
I would absolutely love for Josh Brolin to come back.
That would be very interesting.
I think that would be hilarious.
I think you could make a great aren't you supposed to be the purple guy? And
I could just see Deadpool going, hey Thanos, your skin condition really cleared up or something. You know what I mean?
Something like that.
But that being said, if we're just bringing Deadpool over to the MCU, I would be totally game to just say, oh yeah, Josh Brolin as Cable also is just in the MCU now. Yeah. Because if you're telling me that we can have Gemma Chan playing 2 totally different characters in Eternals and in Captain Marvel, Alfre Woodard playing 2 different characters, Luke Cage and Civil War, it's happened a bunch of times at this point in the MCU. I think a guy who, yes, it's still Josh Brolin, but looks nothing like each other. You know, the characters are nothing alike, anything like that. I think that you could definitely have Josh Brolin show back up in the MCU as Cable without missing a beat. Which I think would be awesome. I think that would be awesome. So jumping down, we got Jonathan McGuire here. Again, guys, we got 67 people watching us, just like all these wonderful people. JD, Jacob Baranowski, Jonathan McGuire, Jackson Brando. Jump in the chat. Let us know, what are you most excited for with hearing that Hugh Jackman is back as Wolverine in the MCU? Let us know any theories, whatever you guys want to talk about with it. Me and TJ will break it all down. But that being said, Jonathan McGuire says exactly what we were saying earlier. You can't come back to a PG-13 Wolverine after the Logan movie. I totally agree. Totally agree with that. TJ, for all 67 of you who weren't here 5 minutes ago, has not seen Logan, which I didn't even know about. And we have been friends easily since Logan came out.
Yeah. Was Logan 17?
17, yeah. 17. Yeah, or so we would have met when Logan was... Actually, I think Logan was literally in theaters when I started there, when we started working together. Because that was like the spring of Wonder Woman, Logan, and Guardians 2. But, man, there were so many comic book movies in 2017. Jesus. Let's see here. Jacob Baranowski says Deadpool and Wolverine side by side in a fight with possible in the Dark Phoenix saga, but mostly in Future War, Cable and Colossus. I'm thinking about the cartoon Marvel X-Men episodes from the 90s. Yeah, I mean, I think it would be interesting. We know that they're doing X-Men 97 on Disney+.
Right, yep. Mm-hmm.
With a multiverse craziness, could we see, something like that show up? Could we saw animation kind of meet live action in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. I think we could easily see that again. I think it would be very cool if they could somehow bring in elements of the animated show into the movie. Because as cool as it is to kind of play around with the multiverse with these mainstream Marvel characters, there's so many characters in the X-Men that you could play with their multiverse counterparts. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
There's so many of them. It would just be so cool to just see different versions. You could bring back so many different people from the different movies that have already existed. You can bring in new people. It's just so open. I would love Kamala Khan to be in this. Let Aman Vellani swear. Let Kamala Khan swear in the MCU. I won't tell her parents if you won't. But that being said, I actually, you know what? No, I do really like that. I was gonna say I was just joking around, but I actually would really like Ms. Marvel interacting with Deadpool. I think that would be pretty funny. Guys, shout out! Thank you guys so much. We got a lot of people talking in chat here. We got 106 people watching us right now. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're talking about whatever you guys want to talk about revolving around Hugh Jackman being in the MCU. Thank you guys so much for joining us again. We are not going anywhere right now. Next up in the chat, Jackson Bernardo says they're letting us dream. Absolutely. One of my favorite lines from the rehearsal with Nathan Fielder was, somebody told him, "You are like the Willy Wonka of my chocolate factory. You make dreams come true." And that's what I feel about Ryan Reynolds right now. I feel like he is the Willy Wonka of all of our chocolate factory. And him and Sean Levy are making, and Hugh Jackman.
That's just a way to look.
He's got to get the credit too. He had to say yes to this. They're just doing it, man. They're just like, you know what? And that's another thing too. You know how we already talked about how much these two guys, three guys really, if you throw Sean Levy in there, throw Feige on top of that, how much everybody just cares about the X-Men franchise because Kevin Feige. I don't know if everybody knows this, but Kevin Feige worked on all of those original X-Men movies as a just starting out producer for many, many years. So, he's super invested in it. If you remember about, 6 months or a year ago remember Hugh Jackman posted that shout out to Kevin Feige, and people were like, could this mean something? And then they were like, no, it was just, they just saw each other at a party. Well, now maybe it did mean something. We know how long these talks can take. So that's very, very interesting. But, you know, you can just tell how much these people care about these characters and doing it right. And I think that's another reason that Hugh Jackman would sign on and say yes, is yes, Logan was the dramatic send-off to that version of Wolverine, but there is still room with these, you know, comic book characters to do just a fun comic book story where Wolverine comes back for a one-time appearance, you know, has a great movie outing with Deadpool, with this kind of crazy ass, you know, story, and just let it, you know, there's no reason that he, like Chris Evans was talking about, you know, if he went back to Captain America, wouldn't that just taint the legacy? It could. But this to me is different. So to answer my own question, does it cheapen Logan for me? I gotta be honest, I love Logan. I don't think it does cheapen Logan for me, because I think it's the same conversation people have with reboots or remakes, you know what I mean? Logan's still there. It's on Disney Plus. It's on the streaming service that this movie will one day be on. You know, you can go and you can watch Deadpool 1, 2, Logan, and then Deadpool 3. So for me, it doesn't cheapen it. I just think there's room, especially with all this multiverse stuff, to explore any story you want. You know, right now in this multiverse saga, they kind of have the blank check of with Secret Wars or whatever. You know, you could bring back anybody you want, and I think it'll work. But let's see here. Ian Turner says, okay, love it and great, love it and great and fantastic, but surely it's only a cameo to introduce X-23 ? I mean, I think it could potentially introduce X-23 100%. I saw a fan cast of Amber Midthunder from Prey as X-23 in the MCU, and I was like, okay, that is very good. If you're not going to get Daphne Keane back, I think that is awesome to have Amber Midthunder. But that being said, I think we talked about it a little bit earlier, but I don't know, TJ, if you want to elaborate further on it, but just to the scale of this announcement, it strikes me as a little more than a cameo.
Yeah, I would find it hard to believe that it's a cameo. Like I said, like I don't think this means he's gonna show up, you know, in multiple movies after 2024, after this movie comes out. Yeah. But at the same time, I don't think they'd announce it like this if it was just a cameo. I find it really, I would be shocked if it was he's in it for like 2 seconds, then he's just gone. And like you said earlier, they kind of did a good job of dispelling the whole, like, because you said you saw like the one thing in chat that was like, oh, what if it's just, you know, it's just Hugh Jackman, the actor, like he just keeps showing up in all these different universes, which again I think would be really funny. And also, I can't help but think this is just gonna be some wacky thing that nobody is really thinking of, as far as like story wise. So in that regard, I'm really excited. But yeah, I would be shocked if it was just a small cameo.
Yes, I definitely agree. I think that with this being our first official look, because it's one thing to get Patrick Stewart in the second Multiverse of Madness trailer, or actually I think his voice might have even been in the first one, but it's one thing to get that and be like, oh my god, was that Patrick Stewart, and you know, have them be, you know, a little tongue-in-cheek with it and stuff, versus the very first piece of promotion is saying flat out.
I don't know why they did that. That was so stupid.
I know, yeah. Especially because we were like, everybody, and I don't mean just you and I, everybody was like, no, it's okay, because if they're showing Xavier in the trailer, imagine who's going to be in it. And it was like, oh, Xavier was kind of the best cameo of the movie. You know, like John Krasinski aside, I would say, but John Krasinski,
Right.
I feel like was kind of a special case. But that being said, I do think it will be more than that, just because, like we said, with everything that with everything coming out and this being the thing. And also, I think, to me, even besides just the video, the logo is the biggest indication to me. I mean, you're not going to put Wolverine's 3 claw marks on there. And I get that it is Deadpool 3, so that's perfect. You know, that's perfect that they worked it out that way. But I don't think you're going to put his claws through the Deadpool logo if it's just going to be a cameo.
Right.
And that's not, you know, tearing apart Ian Turner's comment. I'm just saying, I think personally, I think it is going to be much more than that. I think it's going to be a kind of buddy adventure. Jumping down in the chat a little bit, just because it just caught my eye. Planet Film Network, do you think Hugh Jackman's Wolverine will have the classic yellow suit? I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say yes. I think that they will definitely just go for it.
I think they'll make a little joke out of it, too.
Yes. And
I think
also,
it'll probably be played for laughs.
what I hope is I know, obviously, the costume was probably long destroyed because that movie was a decade ago. Please just let it be the yellow suit from the end of The Wolverine that he never put on, the one in the case, because that design was perfection. We just never saw it on him. But that design, and you know, obviously it doesn't have to. I'm just saying fanboy, you know, dreams here. I just think that suit looked so good.
Yeah.
But I also have full confidence the MCU clearly since Endgame has had a mission statement of we are not dumbing down costumes anymore. Like that. I remember when Falcon and Winter Soldier came out. I remember in WandaVision, people were like, oh, damn, that new Scarlet Witch outfit's really good. Sam looks like he's straight from the comic book in this one.
Right, yeah.
You know, and then it just kind of kept building and building, and now Spider-Man, perfect comic book accurate costume. Doctor Strange, he's got the big, you know, symbol on his chest now. Perfect comic book costume. President Loki, TVA, all this different stuff. You know, She-Hulk, you know, ripped the white and purple suit, which we have yet to see in action, but we've seen in the trailers, ripped straight from the comics. So I think that they're probably going to make it a pretty important mission for them to make that yellow suit work. And I think that is a very quick and easy way to convey to an audience that it could be a variant if he is in that yellow suit, just because we never saw the X-Men one wearing that.
Yeah.
But I think even if they want to bring it, even if they want to say that it is the X-Men movie version, I think if he wears the costume, totally fair game. I don't think there's any issue with that at all. What do you think? Do you want to see him in the costume? I mean, it's a matter of if they would or not, but what do you want?
Yeah, I would like that. Something I was just thinking, like, what if we, like, go through this whole movie and at the end they, like, reveal the actual, like, casting for, like, this universe's Wolverine going forward? Like, you get, like, and here's, you know, I know Taron Egerton is the big fan cast.
I thought you were going to say Terrence Howard. I was going to be like, next time, baby, here we go. No. Oh, okay.
Or even, you know, I know people have joked about, I don't even know if is Daniel Radcliffe a joke or being serious? Like,
I think 5 years ago it was pretty serious. I think it was pretty serious. I think he could do it. There's a part of him that could do it, but I think somebody like a Taron Egerton is just perfect.
Just right, yeah. So I think that's something too that they could, you know, if they have that, you know, casted and sealed and signed and delivered that deal with whoever does it. I think that's something you could do at the end.
Yeah.
But yes, to answer your original question, yes, I would like to see the. Has that ever been, like you just said, it was shown, but he didn't wear it? Like, is that the only time it's ever been come close to that?
Yeah, pretty much for Wolverine. Yeah, because I mean, the X-Men wore the yellow and blue suits in what was that? The end of Apocalypse, and then they were just gone when they started Dark Phoenix. So even they couldn't. They literally had them on in the end of Apocalypse, and then didn't even carry it into the next movie. Which that was the only main X-Men movie that Hugh Jackman wasn't even in. But yeah, I think that would be really cool to see him in that suit. And I would love to have that Funko Pop.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Ian Turner said fair call. Oh, about it not being a cameo. Yep. Murloc Fishmaster says Wolverine versus Hulk. 100%. If you can make that work, I actually would rather save that for the MCU's Wolverine. You know, make that a story. Make it be, if you're gonna get the rights back and you're gonna do a World War Hulk thing where all these, you know, superheroes are gonna go up against the Hulk, just, you know, kick that World War Hulk can down the road a little bit. Let us, you know, get this multiverse stuff past us and just let Bruce go absolutely crazy. I think that would be an amazing movie. But that being said, if they want to do that in Deadpool 3, I'm totally game for that as well. I would also love to see, you know, Wolverine versus Juggernaut, if we're going to get Juggernaut back, which I almost completely forgot that Juggernaut was in Deadpool 2.
And again, this is kind of going away from the Wolverine aspect, but do you think, how many of those people do you think come back? How many have we discussed? How many?
You mean like Colossus and like Negasonic and stuff?
Yeah, or even because Domino's
Domino.
still there, right?
Yeah, yeah.
She's not dead.
Brad Pitt, the Vanisher, get him back.
Yeah, Brad Pitt, yep. Do you think a lot of them make their way over? Or
I think it's just hard to tell. I think if the movie is at the start of the movie, it's just a ripping the Band-Aid off, Deadpool is in the MCU, and it's fish out of water, then no, I don't think they will. I don't think that people like that will come over, unfortunately. Just because maybe Negasonic Teenage War, I will say, with the exception of Domino and Cable, I think that trio is just done so well and has so much more potential.
Right.
I don't think they would mess that up. Like I said, I think they would even bring back Josh Brolin. I really do. But I think outside of those three, I think Colossus they'd probably want to do their own thing with when it came time to do him in an X-Men movie. But I think if you're asking me just, could they be in it? I think for sure. I think if you're going to have a portion of the movie maybe exist in the existing Deadpool universe, then he comes over and it's part of the movie or something like that, then I think they could definitely be in it. But actually coming over to the MCU, I think probably not for those ones. But what do you guys think? Do you think that Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead and them were going to be in it? I think that one could go either way. Let's see. Michelle said, what is it? Bryce, I think it would be funny if at some point Deadpool makes him, I don't know what Bryce means, but oh, sorry. Somebody named Bryce. Bryce Productions was who asked about the suit. Duh. I was like, what? Bryce, I think it would be funny if at some point Deadpool makes him wear the yellow and black suit and it's too tight. Yeah, that would be funny too. If they, like kind of what TJ said, if they just kind of make a light joke out of it. This is the movie, we got Keaton Carr 89. This is the movie that puts Hugh in the Jim Lee costume. Yep, I think that's also possible. Keaton Carr 89, I see you're in the chat a couple times here. I want to ask you, I don't know if you were here when we asked it, but what is the bigger comeback story? Keaton returning to Batman or Hugh Jackman returning to Wolverine? Let us know what you think. And again, I'll say, just like I said to TJ, take into consideration that like half of what we were expecting for Keaton, we are not actually going to be getting. So it seems like he's just going to be back in the Flash. But what do you think was the bigger comeback? Neil Prospect, put She-Hulk in Deadpool 3, you cowards. 100% agree. We talked about that as well. I think that she would fit in there perfectly. And I would love to see...
Deadpool does something wrong, needs some representation.
Yeah, needs some legal advice. Exactly. How do I get out of this universe? I'm committing, it's maybe he'll just be put on trial just for existing. I think that would be funny. What's this? Somebody on Twitter said, bring back Gina Carano. Moving on. No, just kidding. No, I mean, probably not. I'm gonna guess Angel Dust was her name, I think. I'm gonna guess that Angel Dust is probably not gonna be making the switch. Ben72, I'd like to see Hugh portray Wolverine. More Dinky D Aussie. He'd drive a Holden UT, have a mullet, druggy shirt, flannelette, tracky dacks, a slab of VB, a bong, and be on Centerlink. Okay, I am... From context clues, I think that was a lot of Australia stuff. Because I definitely know that tracky dacks is an Australian thing. So, might have to explain some of that for us non-Aussies. But absolutely, everything you just said, for sure. With the time machine, this is Keaton Carr says, with the time device, Deadpool can go back in time to Doctor Strange and rescue Charles Xavier. The guy from Reacher is a great size for Doctor Doom.
He's talking about
the Jack Reacher guy?
Alan Ritchson, I believe.
Alan Ritchson. Isn't Alan Ritchson, isn't he the one that has played like a bunch of different people? Is that the same guy that was Dove? Yeah, this guy... Didn't he play...
I only know him from Blue Mountain State.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see that here. But yeah, this guy has already played... He's played Aquaman. He was in the Hunger Games. He's played Hawk on DC's Titans.
Oh,
this guy's
okay.
done like a ton of different stuff. But yeah, he was Aquaman in Smallville. Oh, and yeah, that's right. He's playing I believe it's Brie Larson's brother in the upcoming Fast 10. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, this guy's he's definitely heating up. I mean, Reacher, I have yet to watch it, not because I'm not interested in it, I just haven't watched it yet, but people say that it's great and he is fantastic in it. So yeah, I mean, I think if they want to go that route with that, I don't know if maybe for Doom, but I think finding a place for Alan Ritchson in the MCU definitely wouldn't be a bad thing. That's for sure. Let's see. Oh my god. All right. Wow, it is hard to keep up with these. Murloc Fishmaster says, is Orange Wolverine in Canada? I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
What is Orange Wolverine?
Good question.
Well, let us know what you mean by that. Cavlogs 121 says, I can't wait for the press junket for this movie. Those two are going to be hilarious. Absolutely. Agree 100%. It's going to be a great Wired autocomplete interview. How much money did Kevin Feige have to give you for that? You know, and then Hugh Jackman pulls off the thing. That's a conversation for another day. Throws the board. Let's see. Michelle says, I love Negasonic and Colossus. Yeah, I think they're great characters as well. Brandon Cobb says, agreed. I'm as excited for their amazing promos as I am for the actual movie. Fire marketing game. Absolutely.
Very true.
Very true.
I think as we've seen with any of Ryan Reynolds' anything that he does, he's just awesome at promotion, whether it be Mint Mobile, his gin, or Deadpool. Deadpool is mentioned, like, and just to bring up Wrexham, the documentary show that him and Rob McElhenney are doing, Deadpool probably comes up like at least twice an episode. Like, just the fans of the club just referring to Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, and then just having Rob McElhenney. It's just, you know, Ryan Reynolds has got the marketing game on lock.
100%. I mean, that guy is a I think you just mentioned Mint Mobile, right?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, Ryan, if you want to reach out, man, I'll take a new, you know, if you want to reach out for Mint Mobile, I could do your whole pitch right now from memory. What is the What is the catch with Mint Mobile? The catch is there is no catch. There you go. The rest will cost you. Sponsor the channel if you want to. But yes, absolutely. Welcome to Wrexham. I've watched the first episode of, I know Christian Harloff's friend Andrew Freed, I think, was the executive producer on that. He's done things like Chef's Table, and the Val documentary and stuff. So people have said that it is like a fantastic documentary, which is great because already it's an interesting concept of Ryan Reynolds doing a documentary what it is about, and the fact that it's coming from a guy who's made a lot of great documentaries. Like, because very easily it could have just been like a great concept that wasn't executed well, but it sounds like it's a great concept that is executed great. So I'm very excited to dive into Welcome to Wrexham. Quick side note: did you see the FIFA news with Ted Lasso?
I did.
Did you see that?
Thought that was interesting. Yeah.
Does Andrew watch? Or Andrew, thinking at work. Does Anthony watch Ted Lasso? Because I know, doesn't he play FIFA with you? Okay.
No, I haven't played FIFA in a minute. Well, I shouldn't say that. I played it probably like a month ago, but I haven't bought like a new one in a while. But yes, I did see that they are in it, and I think that's very cool. I think it's a very cool promotion.
I think it's awesome that it's not just like a gimmick. It's like they're actually in the game. I think that's super, super cool. Let's see. All right. Gotta get through these.
You really gotta keep up with chat here.
I know. Thank you guys so much for joining us again. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That crazy face that I made like 2 minutes ago was because I refreshed our YouTube analytics, and we've had over 2,000 people checking out the live stream tonight. So thank you guys so much. If we could get all 2,000 of those people to subscribe, come on now, that would be great. Change a few lives here. Hit that subscribe button. All right, jumping back in here. Yes. Can't wait to see at Ben72. Can't wait to see the dumbfounded look on the host's faces after that comment. Ben72. Let's see who Jackman. Oh, there. Yeah, that was the Australian one. Yes, we were definitely dumbfounded. So 100%. Mission accomplished. Oh, the real question. What about Dopinder? Do we think we're going to get him in the MCU?
I was thinking that. I think he needs to. I think he needs to come back.
I think that anybody that the MCU doesn't want to use themselves, I think could come over. It'd be interesting to see how that would even work. Like, how is Blind Al going to come through a portal or something like that? I don't know, but, that'd be awesome. But I think it would be interesting. You can go a lot of different ways with this and bring over as many or as little elements of Deadpool really as you wanted to. Let's see. Lovejot Singh says maybe this time Deadpool wants help of Colossus but gets Wolverine's claws. Yeah, maybe. Maybe he goes to the X-Mansion to check on Colossus, and then he realizes that he's in the wrong reality and it's Wolverine that answers instead. That would be awesome. Oh, I just did it to myself. Knocks on the door expecting to get Colossus. Hugh Jackman answers as Wolverine. Do a great joke to call back to the first one. Is this a new studio? How can we afford this guy? With the whole joke from the first one of, it's almost like the studio could only afford these two X-Men.
That'd be funny, yeah.
That would be great if he was like, Kevin, you said these bonuses were really going to make a difference, but I didn't believe you. Something like that. I think that would be great. Also, people have said before that it would be awesome if in She-Hulk they break the fourth wall completely and she talks to Kevin Feige about something. If they miss that opportunity in She-Hulk, you got to do it in this one. You got to have literally the camera move off of the set and have Ryan Reynolds take the mask off and be like, all right, Kevin, this doesn't, you got to bring Kevin Feige into this movie somehow. If he's not already in She-Hulk, which I think is a great theory for that show too. Let's see. Keaton Carr, Hugh Jackman. This is the answer to what was the bigger comeback, Keaton as Batman or Hugh Jackman as Logan. And Keaton Carr 89, who I'm assuming is a big Batman 89 fan, says Hugh Jackman. Logan was a gold standard movie. I agree 100%. Keaton returning is already tarnished by the Flash fiasco. I agree 100%. Yeah, and it's not fair to Michael Keaton at all. You can go back, I don't know, a year and a bit on this channel, and you can take a look at our thoughts on Keaton coming back as Batman, because as I said, we did do a show about that. When the hell was that? I don't even know how long ago it was. But yeah, like I said, you can go back and take a look, because we do have an entire show breaking down Michael Keaton's return as Batman, which again I think was a great move and everything. But yeah, moving on, because my brain is just gobbledygook at this point. Ian Turner, was She-Hulk Immortal Man a nod to Wolverine? I don't know, maybe. I know I know this is probably what you meant, but I think it was Mr. Immortal. I know he was a member of the Great Lakes Avengers, which I think did cross over with
Great Lakes Avengers.
Yeah. I love that. That's our personal claim to fame. For those who are not long-term PFN listeners, we are located near the Great Lakes. That's what I'll tell you. But so that's our personal claim to fame there, with Andrew from Veep playing. Which, by the way, Andrew from Veep playing Mr. Immortal and She-Hulk. Did you recognize him from another role that he was in another popular Disney Plus show this year?
Mm-mm.
He's the Twi'lek from Book of Boba Fett. The one that grew up on Coruscant. That's the same guy that played Mr. Immortal. And since I'm watching through Veep right now, he plays Julia Louis-Dreyfus's ex-husband.
Gotcha.
It's funny, they're now both in the MCU.
Oh yeah.
Brandon Cobb, since Thanos is dead, is he? How many times? Since Thanos is dead, he's free to play Cable, and I don't need Domino to look like the comic. That actress killed it. Negasonic Teenage Warhead is perfectly cast and a fan favorite. It says she'd like Jubilee. Maybe I meant like that you'd like Jubilee, I think is what you meant, maybe. Yeah, I mean, Jubilee was a great, very small character, but great to see her finally join the team in Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix. Didn't really get much screen time, but yeah, I mean, what are some of your thoughts, I guess, on Cable? Would you like to see Josh Brolin back in a more like full capacity? Do you think they would do it?
Yeah, I think they would do it, just for what you said before, with Gemma Chan obviously playing two different characters. Mm-hmm. Obviously it's not, I think at one point maybe they want to stay as true to, one person can only play one character, but at the same time it's like, if the actor is that good in both roles, or they think they're that good for each character, they just kind of make a compromise. I think that it's definitely a possibility. And again, you could make like some, and I know we're saying you make a lot of, I think that's something probably people don't like necessarily, because I feel like maybe I would say the MCU is more how do you say, like, more goofy or silly with some things, whereas you compare it to DC, and DC is more serious, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's what Deadpool is. Deadpool's very funny, but also very like rated R-ish, like violent stuff dark that goes together. Mm-hmm. So I think, again, if you want to make a joke, Thanos, Josh Brolin playing two characters now in the same universe, I think you could do that, and it works.
Yeah, I think I actually think if you're playing with the multiverse, go even one step further. Put Thanos in this movie. Why not? I mean, we saw fun-loving Thanos in What If.
Right. No, yeah, and Cable can be from like a different universe perspective.
Yeah, it doesn't even necessarily have to be that one from Deadpool 2.
Uh-huh. And I know you kind of get into like why does he look the same? Why does this Cable look the same as this Cable if they're not from this, if it's not the same one? You get into that, because that was obviously like Doctor Strange, for example. Like, why is it always Benedict Cumberbatch?
Yeah.
For every universe, and it would be the same thing here. But I think that would work well.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that would definitely work. Like you said, whether they want to make it a totally different Cable or something else, I think that both could work. I think my personal preference would be to just have it be the same Cable, and say that some sort of the time device thing sucked Cable, Domino, and Deadpool into the MCU. You know, something like that, or something just not easy, because of course it's not easy, but you know,
Right.
something that is something that can make a little bit more sense to bring him in. But I think in terms of would Kevin Feige do it, and would they do that in the MCU, I agree. I think we both agree with this. I think definitely. Just because, like what you said, if the actor is as good in not just one but both roles, I think it's worth it. You know, they did that with Gemma Chan. They were like, well, she was good in Captain Marvel, but she could be amazing as Cersei in Eternals, and I think she was. I think she was one of the best parts of that movie. So I think you could do that as well. Let's see. Jay Sheeran, Deadpool and Logan, fire. Absolutely agree. Brandon Cobb said, thanks for reading my comments. Absolutely. More people comment though. Yep, everybody chime into the comments. Thank you so much for watching us. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. But thank you for that, Brandon. Michelle says best Batman was 89. Okay. No, just kidding. No, yeah, great movie, obviously fantastic for sure. John Morose says, for some reason it says DP. I immediately read that as Dark Phoenix, but Deadpool has already multiverse / time traveled, betting the two of them revisit past X-Men movies, kind of like Marty in Back to the Future 2. They changed things so by the end, the mutants will be a part of the MCU. Yeah, I think that would be a great idea. I just don't think, I'll throw it to you, TJ, maybe you disagree, but I just don't think that they'll introduce the mutants in Deadpool. I think that if anything, Deadpool is just going to be, it's just going to be the Deadpool we know, and then just kind of shifted into the MCU, I think. I think the mutants will maybe be established even before we get this movie.
Yeah, I agree with that. Do you think that, you know, all this talk of time travel and everything or whatever, you know, obviously, like you said, Deadpool has access to the multiverse now at this point. Do you think Deadpool 3 is more of a cameo fest than what Doctor Strange was? I feel like Doctor Strange, it was kind of building up to be all these people, and we didn't really get that many if you really think about it, I guess.
Yeah, it was really just the Illuminati.
Yeah, do you think that's a possibility for this?
I think it's definitely a possibility. I think it just depends on what they're going with. If they, I think that, like Multiverse of Madness was, which I think was a missed opportunity to just make it be Cameo City. I think that Deadpool 3 could be Cameo City, or if they want to, or if they are genuinely wanting to just do a straight up comedy action drama story with Wolverine and Deadpool and just make it about them, I could also see that. Because also you got to remember too, and not just you, I mean all of us, that Secret Wars is fast approaching, and that is going to be Cameo City for sure. So I think you could. I think the easiest place you could get away with Cameo City is Deadpool 3. I think it just depends on what kind of story that Sean Levy wants to tell. What do you think?
Yeah, agreed. Man, I personally was a very big fan of Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, but I think one criticism I guess would just be, and I guess you really can't call it a crit, because I mean technically they did really hype up like the whole kind of, again, like they really hyped up like all these universes, but yeah, you were only 3. Whereas when they're getting sucked, him and America Chavez are getting like sucked through all those. You see like really quick glimpses, and that's about it. So I think Deadpool 3 could be like in the same vein as that with all that time travel, but just more people and more exploring, not just jumping quickly like for 2 seconds, and that could be somebody that shows up too. America
I think
Chavez,
so.
she has that, that ability. So
Yeah. Okay. UI says he wants Logan to marry Deadpool. All right, we got that. Let's see. Jumping down real quick, Brandon Cobb saying Logan was the funeral of Fox X-Men. Deadpool 3 will be the wake. It'll be a love letter goodbye. So yeah, yay Cameo City. I think that's a great way to put it. Mm-hmm. Logan really was kind of the send off for that universe, and the only trouble was they already had 2 other movies shot, which was Dark Phoenix and New Mutants. Yeah, if kind of what do you want to say? Maybe if Logan was the death of it, maybe those other 2 were just quick follow-ups, and then yes. But I do like the idea that Logan was truly the end of that Fox universe, and then Deadpool 3 can be its little remembrance ceremony. I don't want to miss one up here. Keaton, well, I like this one. Keaton Carr says, I will say it might be fun if Sabretooth Liev Schreiber shows up. I think 100%. Yeah. I think unanimously one of the biggest things amongst fans of some of the deleted scenes for Logan is there's one where he's talking to, I won't spoil it for my co-host who hasn't seen the movie yet, but there are children, there are kids involved in Logan, and one of the kids has a Sabretooth doll, because also there's X-Men merchandise is a part of the Logan story as well. So he has a Wolverine and Sabretooth doll, and he goes in this deleted scene, he goes up to Logan and he's like did you really know him, or did you really fight him or something? And it's this great scene where Logan goes into this whole, where he's like, yeah, yeah, we knew each other, like kind of calling back to Liev Schreiber as Sabretooth and stuff, in a kind of emotional scene. And then obviously, famously, Liev Schreiber was actually supposed to be in Logan, but then was cut due to scheduling issues. Hold up.
But the Discord feed?
There we go. Yeah, Discord like lagged out for a second. So yeah, I think Liev Schreiber would be awesome. Would be a very cool cameo. I think that would be great. John Moreau says when Ryan says how every Deadpool has to be unique, I don't think he's simply talking about the movies. I think there will be different Deadpool versions of Deadpool in this movie. I think that's a great call, for sure. Ian Turner always wanted to see Keira Knightley as Domino. I think that could also be a great cast. After that other Domino movie, personally, love Josh Brolin, but he wasn't my Cable. Yeah, I know there's a lot of people just said that he wasn't the vibe that they thought it would be, type of thing. I personally, I didn't have huge connection to Cable in the comics or anything like that, so I really enjoyed Josh Brolin, but I know there were some people that didn't. Oh, you know what? I just remembered. So what is the canonical, or what is the canonicity of Matt Damon's cameo in both the Thor films and in Deadpool 2? Because he has a cameo in both movies. So what's going on with that?
Canonicity.
Was he an Asgardian in Deadpool 2 and we just never knew it? Or what? Or is he just playing
that's kind of
a very I just think that's so funny that he's just, the guy's up for anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to see him in there. Jacob Baranowski says Fantastic Four will probably make a cameo. Could be an after credit scene, could be anything. Michelle says Mutants could be an end credit in something sooner than a Deadpool movie. Yes, I 100% agree. Brandon Cobb says they got the rights to reboot the characters 3 months after Deadpool 3 debuts. Yeah, so that is definitely something that we have heard, and something that seems to be very accurate at this point, that we have heard. There was an existing contract with not the rights to use the characters, but the actors that can play them, that all of the Fox X-Men people were locked in to until basically New Year's 2025. So, January 1st, 2025. Basically what it means is if Marvel Studios wants to have Jean Grey in a movie, it has to be Sophie Turner. If they want to have Professor X in a movie, it has to be either James McAvoy or Patrick Stewart. If they want to have Beast in a movie, it has to be Kelsey Grammer or it has to be Nicholas Hoult. That was basically what they had in there. So yeah, like somebody points out, technically, Hugh Jackman can be in this movie because they can't even introduce a new Wolverine until after this movie anyways. So I think that's pretty interesting too. That kind of adds another wrinkle to it. Let's see. Eduardo Utera says, who can be the next gen for Wolverine and Deadpool? Not sure. Absolutely, Wolverine will die in this movie. I think he could. I don't know. I don't think he has to necessarily, but I think he could. New Mutants was pretty good as a small cast movie. The Demon Bear was well realized. I think so. Will they talk about the blip? What do you think?
I'm gonna go with no, because we've been I don't know, at that point it's like I know people are saying like they don't talk about it enough, and people and the MCU doesn't feel right now that it's overall connected. I'm gonna say no, because at that point we'll be like 4 years removed from that I don't know, right, in the movie timeline, correct? That would make, I guess we don't know right now. But
sorry, how many did you say?
4. Or no, because in Endgame, how many years is that?
What was the last thing that just came out? Thor?
Thor: Love and Thunder, yep.
Yeah, Thor takes place in 2024.
Oh,
and Hawkeye was Christmas 2024.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So this would probably we're getting closer. We're closing the gap. But if this movie's coming out in 2024, probably would make sense if it's set in like 2026 or something. But I do think at a certain point there's going to be a big catch up, or they're just going to pick it up along the way. Set a bunch of stuff in 2025. That way everything will probably be back on track by the time Secret Wars comes out. We'll be back to the movie is set in 2025 and it is 2025, which I think they weren't expecting to do.
Quick shout out Outside the Nine. Thank you for subbing. Appreciate it.
Boom. Thank you.
Quick off the topic question. I just want to bring up, Sean, real quick for your thoughts. Off topic, Ian Turner says, what's the deal with the new Frasier show?
I literally
Sean, big
just
Frasier
saw
fan.
that, and I literally just Googled this yesterday. I was like, I saw a TikTok of Kelsey Grammer at a he has a whiskey company, and he was at a whiskey opening event somewhere in the country, and I was like, oh yeah, when is that Frasier Paramount Plus show supposed to go? And he had an interview with Variety in July, which basically said the 8-episode series is written. They're just basically waiting to pull the plug on production. And in July, he said that they were going to start filming in October. So probably soon. I'm going to assume that the Frasier show will probably come out. See, look at that. Subscribe just for that, just for the Frasier talk right there, just for that instant accurate information, because I am such a big Frasier fan. Literally just looked this up less than 24 hours ago. So yeah, I'm gonna guess probably like spring, summer. It'll probably come out on Paramount Plus, because it's just it's a sitcom. It's not gonna take much to shoot.
Right.
So yeah, I'm definitely excited for that. I basically just Googled it out of an abundance of like, oh my god, please tell me it's still happening. Like that was basically my take on it, and luckily it is. But yeah, let's just take a few more, and then we're gonna wrap up here, guys, with our House of the Dragon episode 6 quick review. It's supposed to be the main topic, but then we got this great big news dropping here. So let's go ahead and wrap up this Deadpool stuff. And any of you House of the Dragon or Game of Thrones fans, stick around because we will be talking about that to close out the show. Let's see. I'm so hype. I agree with that 100%. All I want from the new Marvel version of X-Men is a Southern twang rogue. I think that's definitely possible. But what do you guys think about this Keke Palmer wants to play rogue? That was going around the internet a lot earlier this week. TJ, what do you think? Who would you want to see play rogue? Or do you think Keke Palmer would be a great choice?
I think Keke Palmer would be good. I think she'd be good in anything. I mean, she's fantastic in Nope. She's really having a resurgence, I would say.
A Keke Sans.
Yes, if that's what we want to call it.
Palmer Sans.
Yep. So I'd be cool with her. I don't really. I would never say I'm really picky with castings either. It's kind of like, whoever can bring the most energy and the most, the best performance for the character, I'm down for.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. And then let's close out the Wolverine thing here with Brandon Cobb says, I want a scene where they are walking and talking and Jackman goes, should I have a mask? And Wade looks and he has one on and Wade goes, hell no. And every time he looks, it's changed and gets roasted. Okay. Yeah. I think that would be funny. Yeah, I think you could do a lot of stuff. Just their dynamic for anything they want to do in this movie is probably going to be off the charts. But TJ, let's close out with you. What are some of the things that you want to see in this, or some of your thoughts on this that we have not gotten to yet? What do you think?
I just want a good movie. I want it to feel like it's still Deadpool, but just in the MCU. I don't want it to feel like we're pulling any punches because we're owned by Disney now. And again, make fun of that. Make fun of the fact that, we bought Fox and now we're owned by somebody else. Jokes, etc. And I want to see some crossover. I want to see, some current characters that we know and love show up, and I'm just really hyped for this story with Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds. I just want to see what the writing team and everybody comes up with.
This right here. This is what you want.
That is what I want.
There you go. But yeah, and I mean, I think if anybody can do it, if anybody can get Korg into a Deadpool movie, it's Sean Levy, because he basically already did it. But yeah, so like we said, anybody that is watching right now that is still a big House of the Dragons fan, go ahead and flip your brain over to that, because we are going to close out the show talking about episode 6 of House of the Dragon. So this is finally, we got the big massive time jump this week with now having both the older Alicent and the older Rhaenyra with Emma Darcy and Olivia Cook respectively. TJ, I'm just going to throw it to you on this one, man. We'll close out with this. We'll do, however quick you want to do it, or however long you want to do it. How'd you feel about this episode? What were some of your standout moments? And everybody in chat, let us know too. What did you guys think?
I thought it was I had fun with this episode. I shouldn't say that. It's not a fun show. I liked this episode a lot. And this is my opinion. I don't know if this is a popular opinion. I am now on the side of I very much dislike Alicent Hightower. She sucks. Okay, she sucks.
I agree 100%.
Telling Rhaenyra to get up. She just had a kid 2 seconds ago. She said, "I want to see the kid." Like, I just
and then
had
has the audacity
like 2 seconds ago
to go, "You should be resting. What are you doing here?"
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. And then she says, "Oh, it's weird." I think she says like, "Oh, it's weird that it doesn't look like what's his name, Sir."
Oh yeah, Laenor.
What's his name? Laenor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, yeah, we know what doesn't look like him. Yeah. Okay, I get it. I can't stand Allison Hightower. She was okay in the first 4 episodes or 5 episodes. She's really getting on my nerves now. Can't do it.
Yeah, and I know Olivia Cook said that she played her as, quote, a woman who would be for Trump, was like how she played her. And I can kind of get that, I think. That mixed with, some Cersei-isms. Real quick, I just want to say, for anybody who is tuning out now after all the Deadpool talk, thank you guys for joining us. And go ahead and subscribe. Almost more importantly than subscribe, but hit both. Subscribe down below, but also go ahead and follow us at the official PFN over on Twitter and TikTok and Instagram, but Twitter and TikTok specifically. TJ runs our Twitter. We post trailers, news, updates, posts, everything like that every time we upload. And then over on the TikTok side of things, we are posting there all the time with a bunch of different stuff. So go check that out as well at the official PFN. But yeah, sorry, continue.
We're back. Damon's back. I mean, he didn't leave, but Damon's back. Back to long hair. Sucks. I'm a little disappointed. It's kind of like
a shoulder length cut. It's like a mid cut.
His wife, I was pretty shocked. I was
very shocked as well.
I was shocked that happened.
Very much.
And I'm Team Rhaenyra, and I think mostly everybody is. If we're looking Allison versus Rhaenyra, everybody should be Team Rhaenyra. And
yeah, come on, man.
And sorry, by the way, I'm also not a fan of Sir Kristen. He sucks too.
Oh, absolutely.
Sir Kristen
went from being one of the best characters on the show to being a dipshit.
Yeah, terrible person.
What a nasty Nelly.
Overall, I thought great episode. That one kid, I get a lot of the kids mixed up because there's just so many. So I'm like, what's their name? And the one that was like jerking off the balcony or whatever he was doing. Yeah.
Aegon the second.
Yeah, he's
not to be confused with the Conqueror or with Jon Snow.
Right, he sucks. But
definitely
yeah, I thought it was good. I thought
vibes.
It was a good episode, and I don't also want to hear Allison say, I didn't tell you to kill them. That's basically what you're hinting at. Let's be honest. Also, Lara Strong, basically Maester, what's his name? From whatever, who's the guy who makes the mountain, basically, who zombifies him.
That's basically like Qyburn?
He's basically, and then
for new members of the channel,
Cersei. Allison's
Qyburn can F off. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and
no, 100%.
She gives me Cersei vibes. But yeah,
and that to me is one of my least favorite dynamics and relationships in Game of Thrones. Nothing to do with the actors. I am super, super excited for Qyburn, the actor for Qyburn, showing up in Andor, which I can't believe we've gone almost 2 hours without talking about Andor, but shout out to Andor. You can check out our review for Andor, is up on the channel right now. But yeah, I'm excited to see Qyburn in there. And again, the actor that's playing Lara Strong in this is doing a great job. I love the character of Lara Strong, but I hate Laris Strong. And that's exactly what he's supposed to be doing. You're supposed to hate him. But I really thought this whole Dance of the Dragons, I really thought that it was going to be a little more two-sided. I think it's an easy Team Black. If you're saying Team Black and Team Green of Rhaenyra or Alicent, easy. I mean, I saw a side-by-side list, and I'm like, if you take Alicent, Aegon, Kristen Cole, Otto Hightower versus Rhaenyra, Daemon, Viserys, and Corlys, there's not even a competition there with which side I'm siding with. And Corlys can be an asshole. Daemon is an asshole. Viserys doesn't know what the hell's going on half the time. But I would still side with that team because of Rhaenyra. She is a mostly good person who, just like everybody in Westeros, is just kind of getting screwed by the system and everything. I don't think that's any reason to think that she would murder a child, which seems to be everything that Alicent is worried about, because that's what her father said. But what do you think? Do you think truly, if Rhaenyra became queen, do you truly think that she would have Alicent's kids killed because they're that much of a threat? I don't think she would. I don't think Rhaenyra would do that at all.
I don't think she has the guts. I don't think she has the... Well, sorry.
I don't think she would
care. Rhaenyra, no, I don't think she would care. Alicent is just like... She's still playing... You know, she's talking about how... She's telling... I'm so bad with names. Viserys, I did that. Viserys, she's like, oh, you know, they have your ear, you know. They can't be a good hand. It's like... I'd be like, Otto has your ear. After all these years, like you were the reason he was, his way to get into more power was you. He was using,
and that is one way. One thing that Larys did remind me of Littlefinger is, you know, even Littlefinger kind of throws it back to people every now and again, and Larys saying the whole like, well, okay, yeah, maybe my dad is a compromised hand, but are you really trying to say that Otto would be any better?
Exactly.
Like,
and she was like, he'd be partial to me. It's like, what?
Exactly. She was like, I need someone in my corner. Why? Just get along with her. You know what I mean? And I'm not... neither of us are criticizing the show for this. This is just... the characters are so rich, and we're so invested in these characters already. It's just like, Alicent, just get your shit together and be nice with Rhaenyra. Who cares if her... Also, I saw this great point. Who cares if her kids are bastards? Who cares if they aren't Laenors? They're still Targaryens. It's not like Joffrey and Tommen, who weren't Baratheons. You know what I mean? Like, they were not even related to Robert. Rhaenyra is the queen. She is the heir. Her kids, last time I checked, her kids came out of her. You know what I mean? It's not like it's Laenor and some other woman's kids.
Even Rhaenyra, like, she tried to break bad, too. As much as she didn't want to, she offered, you know, that marriage and that thing. She and Elsa
and Viserys was so happy.
And Viserys was
so
like,
happy.
She's trying. She's like, no.
Over my dead body, she said.
Yeah, over my dead body.
Oh my God.
I'm cold in the ground.
Yeah. She said. Jesus Christ. But let's talk about the man himself a little bit here, Mr. Decrepit King. With Viserys.
He's dying, and
he's dying, man. He's got his arm's gone. Last week his arm was not looking good. This week doesn't even exist. Man, I saw this. I'll send it to you after the show, but I saw like the saddest TikTok I've ever seen, and it was about Viserys. But yeah, I mean, Paddy Considine just keeps being this incredible force on this show. He really is turning out to be kind of the Sean Bean, the Ned Stark, because I keep going to myself, Viserys can't die. He is the driving force of this show. He started as the main character of the show. And then I got to remember to myself, so did Ned Stark. The whole show was marketed around Sean Bean. He was the main character. And then he loses it. Spoiler alert for either 20 years ago for the book or 10 years ago for the show. He dies before the first season's even over. And so I got to remember what universe I'm in. And I'm like, I love Viserys, but I can't get too attached. I know he's not going to make it. I mean, I know certain things about other characters that are even younger than him, you know, that don't make it. There's a lot of shit that's going to go down in this series. But yeah, I mean, that does not change the fact that this guy Viserys is struggling, big time. And again, I think it just shows Paddy Considine is just so good in this, and really the hair and makeup department on this show is just doing an incredible job. At first, it was very, you know, kind of slight with him, you know, with the thinning hair, kind of receding hairline, getting a little bit heavier. Now, you know, he just seems very, you know, a lot heavier than he was before. No arm, almost no hair. He looks 90, and he's only supposed to be in his early 40s, which is, you know, or maybe let's give it the benefit of the doubt and say in his 40s. But he's not supposed to be a very old man at this point. Because in the beginning of the series, you know, Rhaenyra's 14, 15, so he's only, you know, about 20 years older than that. He's supposed to be in his 30s. It could throw you off with the white hair sometimes, but you think of Daemon hasn't aged a day.
Nope.
And that's just his younger brother of only a few years. But yeah, man, I don't know. What else do you want to talk about with this? I feel like there's just so much.
I think
that
we got to
just
talk
talked
about the end.
Yeah, go for it.
I for one was shocked. And I really, you know, Daemon was standing there. He was thinking, you know, he was thinking. He in this episode, he didn't seem like he was a terrible person, but at the end, he still, you know, like, do you think you think he was going to? Do you think he would have had them cut her open to get the child, or no? Because I feel like it's
don't
not really.
Think he would have.
It's not really because she knew it was coming. It seemed like, so that's why she like. And the way it was, I wasn't really a fan of it just cutting and she's outside. I would have liked if it showed me how she got outside.
Yeah.
You know, that was kind of weird to me. But for me, it was kind of she knew what was going to happen, and she thought to herself, I'm not going out like this.
Yeah, and she says earlier in the episode, you know, I want to die a dragon rider's death. I think it's going to have... I think it's no mistake that Laena Velaryon has just died, and Laenor and Rhaena and the whole family are finally making the move. They are leaving King's Landing because Alicent is just too much for them. They are finally leaving King's Landing and making for Dragonstone, which is right next to Driftmark. So we are going to have Rhaenyra and Corlys and Daemon probably with Dragonstone and Driftmark on the other side of the Blackwater from King's Landing. You know, this is going to be a very tight-knit group, I think, going forward. Because it's not Daemon's fault. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like Corlys is going to be mad at Daemon that Laena died. It was childbirth, and she wanted to take herself out. I thought it was a beautiful moment. I thought it was really well done. I do agree with the kind of how it was staged, that it was just like, oh, kind of all of a sudden she's outside. But I also understand it could be kind of hard to show that fully, I guess. But yeah, I think that was a beautiful moment, and I liked kind of all the shots of everybody at the end of the episode, just kind of again showing everybody. And then again, I got a soft spot for him, but that moment with Viserys when you just see him in the aftermath of, you don't even need the scene of the two of them saying goodbye or anything. You just see him in the aftermath knowing that he is so broken up about the fact that Rhaenyra is leaving King's Landing, because let's be honest, Rhaenyra is obviously his favorite child. You see him at the end, you know, crying, and he kisses his wedding ring with Emma, his first wife, who, you know, and you could tell that Viserys genuinely, maybe not so much anymore, but there genuinely was love between him and Alicent. There really was. But nothing's going to be like Emma was for him. And you see him crying that Rhaenyra's leaving. He kisses the ring and everything. And then he has his little departed moment where you see the rat come out from the window and climb across his little mantelpiece there. In my opinion, clearly, you know, the rat symbolizing the High Towers, or Alicent and Otto and all those people around him. That Viserys really now is kind of this island in King's Landing. And, you know, I feel like his heart really would rather be with would really rather be with Rhaenyra, you know, on Dragonstone and everything. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's crazy. Haley K, welcome to the chat. But yeah, I guess, yeah, like we said, my brain is fried. I've been at work. I was at work very early this morning. But anything else you want to talk about before we close out here?
Are you gonna be checking out Blonde
When does that drop?
tonight?
Tonight?
Yep.
Oh my god. At some point. I've heard very mixed things. I've heard
mixed things as well.
Yeah,
It's
I've heard
also
that
very
she
long.
is great. That was the other thing. I've heard that she is great, but a 3-hour movie feels like a 6-hour movie. That's what I've heard. And I am not in the mood for that.
By the way, that my one critique of Avatar, pacing was not great. Felt very it felt way longer.
I felt like it really slowed down in the middle.
Yeah.
It really did.
I was like, so when do we get into when does what's his name get into the mech?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. This was a fantastic stream. We had let's see here. Oh wow. Is that right? Hang on. Holy. Dang. OBS right now is telling, YouTube is still saying we're at 26, but OBS is telling me right now that we're at 4,100 views. So if that's the case, and TikTok for all our news, updates, reactions, and reviews, that'll do it for me.
Yeah, but that was Teacher Cornwall. Thank you everybody for watching, subscribing, liking the video, or liking the stream. Hopefully you'll join us next week, Tuesday, same time, same place, for another stream. Like Sean said, follow us on our social media channels, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. And we will see you next time.
Boom. Shout out.